Welcome, November 10th, day 2 after the elections. And some races still too close to call, but let's talk about what we have. So today, we got a historic thing that happened in the election, a victory, and a bunch of ballot initiatives that was on it that we're going to talk about, and some other stories. With that said, let's go. Welcome to the Brandon T Show, where we talk about everything that's important to the working man. And we're not politically correct here, so working man means men, women, whoever's out here getting it. We come to deliver the news that's important to y'all. And with that said, this is the Working Man Committee. All right, let's start off with the historic. History was made. And there's only been like 3 black governors, and Maryland has one today. Yes. Wes Moore won in Maryland, handily, the Democrat. And so let's go. Let's ask Wes Moore. Wes Moore, how do you feel about winning?
I remember we were in the war room where we had all these cameras and the team was around crunching numbers, and the polls closed at 8, and a little after the polls closed, we were watching some of these other results coming in, and then my campaign manager raised his finger and said, "Hold on," and he said, "We just got the word, we just won," and the room just erupted. And the thing that was really exciting was how, once the numbers started coming in, was how we won. That we were winning in urban areas, rural areas, suburban areas. We just won across the state. Democrats, independents, and we took a huge swath of Republicans. And so it was exciting that the state spoke with a unified voice, that we were tired of being at each other's throats. We were tired about caring more about who came up with the idea than is it a good idea. And we were excited that this was going to be Maryland's moment to be bold and to go fast, but we were going to do it together. So it was a great
talk about being bold, though.
Now, Wes Moore described on the morning show how he felt about winning. And so the host there, the co-host, wanted to know, Wes, you have no experience running anything in public office. To be in anything, this is your first office. You shot high out of your depth. What made you think that you were qualified to do that? Wes, what is your answer?
For us to really deal with the challenges that, frankly, I've been working on for my entire life. You know, I tell people I've been a public servant for much of my life. I led soldiers in combat with the 82nd Airborne Division. I started a successful small business helping first-generation students go to and through college. And I led one of the largest poverty-fighting organizations in America. But I know that if we aren't dealing with the systems that continue to allow people to fall between the cracks, we'll just find ourselves repeatedly cleaning up the debris that comes from broken systems. And so I've been a public servant for much of my life. I just haven't been a politician. So I know the approach that I plan on taking to these problems of working collaboratively, working across sectors, and working across political parties to actually accomplish big things. That's exactly the approach that I plan on taking as Maryland's next governor.
You know what? I like that answer. I don't know if they liked it, but I like it. Let's go with some of these ballot initiatives. A lot of things that were on the initiative. And we're going to start with, there were some gun laws that were on the initiative. Yep. All right, we can start with the gun laws. Iowa has a ballot initiative that it enshrines the right to bear arms to own gun ownership. Let's see, our Constitution would include a strict that any and all gun restrictions on gun owners be subject to strict scrutiny by the courts. So they're saying that if you got somebody in Iowa who got a gun, and then you don't want them to have a gun, they shouldn't have a gun. You got to go through the legal process to take that gun away from them, because Iowa is protecting the ownership of the gun regardless. Strict scrutiny on this So if you got a gun in Iowa, you probably shouldn't have one. Iowa's gonna make it hard to take it from you. All right. And so that did pass. That they add extra protections in Iowa on guns. And there's also another ballot initiative for guns in Oregon. And what they were trying to do down in Oregon is to limit guns. But not limit guns, limit high capacity magazines. So they were going to limit having over 10 rounds in a gun. And like I said, they're going to maintain a database for the firearms. They're going to make sure they know everything about your gun that need to be known. And they're also gonna make it that you need a permit to buy any gun in that state. Any gun, long gun, handgun, rifle, anything. And they're waiting on the results for that. And Oregon does a mail-in ballot, so it's gonna take a while for the mailman to run and collect every ballot that's out there and process it. So we will keep an eye on Oregon and see if that actually does pass anytime soon. All right. Other things that were on the ballots was marijuana. Yes, marijuana. And so with marijuana, there was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states that had it on the ballot. And we're going to go through the states and let you know. Look right here. And we're going to start with Arkansas. Arkansas. Do people want marijuana? Maryland. How the citizens of that state, how they think about marijuana? Do they want marijuana? Missouri. Or Missouri. Depends on if you're from there or not. How do y'all feel about marijuana? North Dakota. Do we want to smoke a little bud? How y'all feel about it? South Dakota. How do y'all feel about marijuana? All right. So, depends on what your state decided and how you feel about it. It's either you're happy, yeah, when can I go get my bud? Or you're glad that no bud is available. And so, there you go. And we got next ballot part on the next ballots. We had abortion protection in 5 states. Abortion protection. So since Roe versus Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court earlier this year, states have been so abortion has been pushed back to the states. See, before with the court system had it at the federal level because the court made a decision. Now that they have overturned their decision, said states, y'all decide how you want to govern your citizens. All right, and then so this is what we got. California, we're gonna start with California. They voted yes on Prop 1 for protection of abortion. And also, they added this little side note in there. The right to choose and the right to refuse contraceptive. I wonder why they add that. You can choose contraceptive or you can refuse contraceptive. But whatever your decision is, and you chose the wrong one, you can have an abortion in that state. Yep, Vermont had it on its ballot, and Vermont, they just enshrined it in their constitution that you can have an abortion. Yep, just added a little pencil in. Like I said, they already let you do it in Vermont. And they're like, you know what, let's add that into your constitution. It's right there. Okay. Thank you, Vermont, for that. I'm pretty sure the citizens of that state are happy. Montana. Now, Montana's gone a little different way on this one. They set up the Born Alive. So if you try to have an abortion and abortion does not go well and the baby still survives, the fetus for people that are going through survive, then at that point that's a legal person. So you get an attempt. If you attempt and attempt fail, that's a legal person. Which at the federal level, that makes it a legal person already. But at the state level, they have codified that, made sure that that's gonna be state law. And then we got Kentucky. See, Kentucky was one of those ones that had a trigger laws in those. So once Roe versus Wade was done, they was banning abortion for a period of time. And so what they want to do with their ballot initiative was to cut off funding and so forth and kind of wipe it out in that state. And the voters of that state said no. They defeated that measure, and so you still have access to abortions and so forth. And Michigan has added the right to abortion to their constitution and their ballot initiative. So you can have an abortion in Michigan. So going through those and having an abortion. So let's change gears. We talked about all the political stuff. Let's change gears a little bit and bring up two people that's been, I don't know if it's probably unfairly done here and so forth. People are gonna have their opinions on it and so forth. It just depends on how sensitive you are. And we're gonna start with Dave Chappelle. So Dave Chappelle is gonna host SNL this weekend, and some of the writers are gonna boycott the gig because of his stance or his jokes. I ain't gonna say stance. His jokes on the LGBTQ community and the transgender jokes he finds. And so one of the writers on there wrote on his Instagram post saying that he's trans. I'm not gonna say they're trans and non-binary. So I'm like, I think that just contradicts itself. If you that and then that, I mean, you pick something, you pick to be something else, and then you say you're nothing at the same time. Hey man, I guess it don't matter. You grab whatever letters you want to. And it says they use the pronoun them, they, and transphobia is murder and should be condemned. So being transphobic, I mean scatter trans, or so forth. But I'm gonna say this. I don't remember Dave Chappelle reading a report or listening to one of his stand-ups that he actually offered harm to any of these communities or groups or whatever people identify as or choose to their lifestyle to be. And so I'm like at this point it's like, if you make a decision, if you make a decision to do something, whatever it is, you want to do it, you said you're proud enough to make a decision and stand on your decision. It says, this is me. And then in turn, you shouldn't be, I wouldn't think that decision you made says that whatever decision you made, not even just about just what you identify as, any decision. Where you live, what you eat, you know what I'm saying? Any decision, what clothes you wear and so forth. And then in turn make that decision to step out there on that decision and then be very sensitive if somebody says something about it. So just stand on it and so forth. But like I said, that's just, you know what I'm saying, one guy's opinion. But at the end of the day, I mean, people gonna feel how they feel. I mean, I'm not trying to say you shouldn't be sensitive to certain things and so forth. But I mean, like I said, I could be wrong that they might have said something that was, I mean, besides hurting feelings and making jokes, it could have said something to cause harm. Put it in the comments if Dave did say it and so forth. But like I said, feeling like I said, you want to boycott him so he can't come because of some jokes. I think that's a bit much and so forth. I mean, you could yeah. But I need to let's go back one step. I'm gonna take a step back. Maybe this might help. Maybe not. This might help. All those ballot initiatives this cycle for marijuana shaked out how they want to shake out. But there's another drug that was on the initiative, on the ballot initiative, was in Colorado. In Colorado, legalized mushrooms, magic mushrooms. Yes, and I'm gonna let the professional tell you the benefits of the magic mushrooms. Go.
They're known as magic mushrooms with the active ingredient psilocybin that some research shows may help a lot of people. Dr. Albert Garcia Romeo is assistant professor of psychiatry and behavioral sciences at Johns Hopkins University, where psilocybin is tested in clinics.
I think psilocybin seems to be very promising as a potential treatment for a number of different conditions, for depression, for addictive disorders. That would include things like alcohol dependence, cocaine dependence, opioid dependence, tobacco use.
Colorado.
Yeah, so the benefits of the magic mushroom, however you feel, if the anxiety and so forth gets too big, too great, go to Colorado. Try some magic mushrooms. Yeah. The next person I'm gonna talk about. Now this one's I don't know. This one is really met. I don't understand this one. I understand it just because of, you know what I'm saying, Kanye West, Ye, kind of primed the pump a lot on this stuff in people's lexicons and feelings in some way. But I look at it like this. So, Kyrie Irving, right? This is Kyrie Irving dead. And Kyrie Irving, matter of fact, I let Kyrie Irving tell you in his own words what he did. Go.
I came up, went out and shared it on my platform. Let me see if there are any documentaries on Yahweh. So, went in the search bar, typed in Yahweh, that came up. Went out and shared it on my platform. That was my night. In terms of the backlash or what people call it, we're in 2022. History is not supposed to be hidden from anybody. And I'm not a divisive person when it comes to religion. I embrace all walks of life. You see it on all my platforms. I talk to all races, all cultures, all religions, and my response would be, it's not about educating yourself on what Semitism is, what anti-Semitism is. It's really about learning the root words of where these come from and understanding that this is an African heritage that is also belonging to the people. Africa is in it, whether we want to dismiss it or not. So the claims of anti-Semitism and who are the original chosen people of God, and we go into these religious conversations and it's a big no-no. I don't live my way like that. I don't live my life that way. Excuse me, I grew up in a melting pot, and I say a melting pot of all races, white, black, red, yellow, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, and you can see the way I live my life now. I'm not here to be divisive, so they could push their agenda. I don't want to say they, because I'm not identifying any one group or race of people, but I'm in a unique position to have a level of influence on my community, and what I post does not mean that I support everything that's being said or everything that's being done, or I'm campaigning for anything. All I do is post things for my people in my community and those that it's actually going to impact. Anybody else that has criticism, it obviously wasn't meant for them.
Yep, so that's what Kyrie Irving did. Went and looked around, retweeted, and so forth, and it was out there. Now, the problem I have is, it seemed like at that point in time, after he said what happened, and I mean, you went over here, you looked at this, watched that, and like, okay, it is. I mean, we not mad. Y'all not mad at Amazon for having it. You mad at him for retweeting it. Okay. But I think that the back and forth between the media reporters was a little different after a game. It should have been more about the basketball game, but it was more about other things. So let's check out this back and forth.
Hopefully, I'm understanding what you said, and I want to make sure I get it right because I don't want to misquote anything.
I don't expect understanding from a media conglomerate group that sincerely talks about the game of basketball, and then we bring up religion as if it's correlative at times when it's convenient for people to bring it up. So please just be direct with your question so we can move on from this and I can talk about the game and go home to my son Elohim and my wife Marlene, okay?
Am I to take it that this was, that what you shared was not something that you've even watched? This was, you did watch it or even rewatch it already?
Good and bad about the truth of our world.
So then do you, I guess, understand or not understand those that might imply that that work had anti-Semitic leanings in it? But I only ask this because the tweet is still up there, so
We're in 2022. It's on Amazon, a public platform. Whether you want to go watch it or not is up to you. There's things being posted every day. I am no different than the next human being, so don't treat me any different. You guys come in here and make up this powerful influence I have over top of the adultery of, oh, you cannot post that. Why not? Why not? I don't hear uproar on that. I'm not here to be divisive on what's going on this or that. I'm not comparing Jews to blacks. I'm not comparing white to black. I'm not doing that. That conversation is dismissive, and it constantly revolves around the rhetoric of who are the chosen people of God. And I'm not here to argue over a person or a culture or religion or what they believe. No, this is what is here. It's on a public platform. Did I do anything illegal? Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did I do anything illegal? Did I hurt anybody? Did I harm anybody? Am I going out and saying that I hate one specific group of people? So out of all the judgment that people got from me posting, I just, without talking to me, and then I respect what Joe said, but there has a lot to do with the not ego or pride of how proud I am to be an African heritage, but also to be living as a free black man here in America, knowing the historical complexities for me to get here. So I'm not going to stand down on anything that I believe in. I'm only going to get stronger because I'm not alone. I have a whole army around me.
Kyrie, while we're on the topic of promotion, why did you decide to promote something that Alex Jones said?
That was a few weeks ago. I do not stand with Alex Jones' position, narrative, court case that he had with Sandy Hook, or any of the kids that felt like they had to relive trauma, or parents that had to relive trauma, or to be dismissive to all the lives that were lost during that tragic event. My post was a post from Alex Jones that he did in the early 90s or late 90s about secret societies in America of occults, and it's true. So I wasn't identifying with anything of being a campaignist for Alex Jones or anything. I'm just there to post, and it's funny, and it's actually hilarious because out of all the things I posted that day, that was the one post that everyone chose to see. It just goes back to the way our world is and works. I'm not here to complain.
To follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book,
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me doing, do you see me in front of
Put it out there.
the
People
title?
are going to say that you are
Yeah, I put it out there just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's not
You put
stuff,
things out there for a living, right?
right, but my stuff
Great,
is
so
not
let's move on.
filled
Let's
with
move on.
anti-Semitic
Let's
stuff.
move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing that.
Another
You're
human
free to
being.
post
I can
what.
post whatever I want, so
post
say
what-
that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that by
I don't have to understand anything from you.
But it's
Nothing.
not me.
Nothing.
By
It's no
posting
people
what
that you're
you
making
did,
up, bro. Move on.
but by posting
Move
what
on.
you
Next
did,
question.
Anybody
You guys have
look
any more
at it,
questions?
and they're gonna say,
You guys have any more
does he have
questions? Because this is going to be a
anti-Semitic
clip.
beliefs?
This is going to be a clip that he's going to marvel at. Is this any more questions?
But you're not answering the question.
No, it's another answering your question. Oh my God, let's make another Instagram clip so we can be famous again. Next question.
Kyrie basketball.
I think that it was trying to make news or something, right? You know, don't you take that little like, hey, why y'all digging that hard? I mean, we talking about basketball. You come up to talk about basketball and you want to go talk about something else, unbasketball related. And what are you trying to get him to say, reporter? Were you trying to get him to make him apologize to you, reporter? And then so you could go around your water cooler the next day, look what I made him do. He had to bow down and kiss my ring. Is that how you felt, reporter? Kind of seemed like that's what you were trying to do, reporter. So, but anyway, the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets had Kyrie Irving do a whole bunch of things to come back to the team, stand on his head and all that kind of stuff. But it looks like he's not acquiescing, and so we'll see what happens with that. All right. Ooh. I want to thank whoever gave me this story. I like this. This has been one of the ones I've had the friends that's done this and so forth, and I kind of said the same thing to other people that want to get into this. And you know what? You can see my excitement. Okay, I'm gonna go into it. The Great Vegan Diet Con. How a plant-based lifestyle is not always better for your health and could lead to a bit of brittle bones, hair loss, and more. Yes! See what it is many people are sold veganism as a benefit to help them lose weight and reduce cancer risk. But the proof planning are leaving the elements at risk of deficiency in nutrients that you're not getting that you need from meat. Yeah. You actually need them nutrients from that meat. But like I said, you cut the meat out and then you cut and you don't, you know what I'm saying, get those nutrients that are missing and so forth, shows that you become deficient. Studies have suggested vegans are more likely to face broken bones. Yes, broken bones. Let's see. The story goes, and I think this is the Daily Beast. This story came from. In recent years, we have been lectured by Netflix documentaries celebrating veganism and for health benefits. Yes, it's a powerful message cut through with 8 million Americans and 1.1 million bystanders follow plant-based diet. Yep, so all 8 million people have watched Netflix documentary and said, I don't want no meat no more. Yeah. That's it. One of the biggest selling points of veganism is cut out red meat and live long without cancer. So the documentaries have put meat, red meat, and cancer and drew that line just like that and said, you don't get one, you eat one, you don't get the other. But as growing evidence has shown that veganism makes you deficient in health without heavy supplements. So if you're going to be a vegan, you got to have heavy supplements to make sure you get what you would have had if you just would have had a hamburger. Cheeseburger, double cheeseburger, ketchup chili, chicken sandwich, chicken nuggets, or any of those meat proteins, or fish. Salmon, sushi, all that, shrimp, all of it. Studies have shown that broken bones you get with missing these key nutrients, dairy, meat, you need it all. The funny other thing is this. I've always told people, friends of mine that had went down this lifestyle, hey, you're gonna be deficient. How you gonna get all these different vitamins that you need from milk and dairy, or dairy and meat and so forth? How you get those? I mean, you filling up with bread. Bread's empty. You eat a bunch of starches. That ain't really what's the protein. I do beans and dark leafy greens. Okay. What's the complex? Yeah, that one, I must say, that right there proved my point. That I've been trying to make to a bunch of people for a long time. Hey, moderation is better than cutting out anything. Eat it in moderation and so forth. Don't go too heavy. You ain't got to eat your double ribeye, 24 ounces every dinner. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and so forth, and you'll be good to go. But like I said, I want to say congratulations to Wes Moore on being the first black governor of Maryland and one of a very, very select group. And then, like I said, and then all the ballot initiatives. Like I said, we get stuck on the candidates, but those other ballot initiatives on the ballot also need to pay attention to. Oh, and with that said, I'm your host, Brandon T. This has been the Working Man Committee and Brandon T Show. And we'll see you next time. Peace.